is Bottom Line Liberia.
Mr. Hello to you, wherever you are this evening, and welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. We're coming to you via Facebook, YouTube, and from our main page. We want to say welcome to Paul the Lord Children, and we already put our flyers. We told you we're going to have the people from the ANC, that's the Alternative National Congress. And they're having a very big event, that is convention, and preparations are almost concluded. And so they're going to be here to tell us what they've been doing, how they're going about it. And so all of those will be in the package tonight for you. And so wherever you're watching us from, we'd like to say welcome and be a part of the show. Paul, how are we doing?
Well, Linford and Dr. George, the Lord Cholope is doing great. It's going to be back on the bottom line discussion. And looking forward to the discussion with the ANC, the richest party in Liberia, the well-educated people party, as people claim, to hear about their convention. So yes, looking forward to the discussion, bro.
Okay, let me say welcome to Dr. Emmanuel George. He's the first to appear tonight. The rest of them will be falling in line as soon as they have time. But Doc, this is not your first time here, of course. You guys were here a few weeks ago, and we did discuss almost the same issue tonight. But we'll be elevating it a little bit tonight. So we want to say welcome to you and how you doing.
Thank you, Mr. Glenn. Thank you, Lord Cholope. It's good to be back on the bottom line and to the audience on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. We hope to have a great conversation this evening.
Okay, guys. So I guess if you just joining us, this is the Bottom Line Liberia. Like we said, my name is Linford Goa here in Norway. Paul the Lord Cholope is well situated in London. And our guest, one of our guests that will be coming on tonight, Dr. Emmanuel George, is in the United States of America. I don't know which state. No, I should have followed the code, then I will know. But I think that Dr. George will later tell us which state he is in.
I'm in the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, the state of brotherly love. So, Philly is the state of brotherly love. Somewhere there, somewhere.
Yes.
A lot of persons out there. But we want to say welcome. We're going to have a great discussion tonight. You know, they say in time of peace, you prepare for war. And it's going to be political war when 2029 arrives. So, you know, most of the political parties, they are mending their fences, you know, they're trying to put things in order. So the ANC folks will be here to tell us what they're doing. So stay with us. We'll be back right after this break. And please help us to share the show.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. People who are so, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we both tell you. But you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. They lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with the promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in D and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Liberia. This is the program that brings you the information that you need, and we discuss from top to bottom. And of course, we do discuss with respect. We respect each and every one of us, our guests, and also our viewers. And we demand same respect. That is, if you don't agree with us, you can do that respectfully, but please, no insults. So we want to say welcome again. Now, it is time to start. Today is the 4th of April 2025. Dr. George.
Yes, sir.
Is all important and much talked about convention taking place?
The convention is about 21 days away. It takes place from the 25th of April to the 27th of April in the city of Brotherly Love. So so we're going to be in the city of Brotherly Love on the 25th. That is when we have the meet and greet. Then 26th, we have the business meeting that will end with the elections of news officer for ANC over. Then the evening, like everything ANC, we end with a banquet or time to fellowship. And then Sunday, we have prayer service. And we leave the beautiful city of Philadelphia.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be like bringing in new administration that will steer the party leading to the time of elections. How's the momentum among your members? It's because, the reason I'm asking about momentum is the past elections, we all saw the results. It was devastating especially for the ANC, called it CPP. And after such an event, I think a lot of people will say, okay, you know what, I need to take a little bit of break. Is it the case with all your members? Is the momentum high?
At the moment, we'll say there is it's much better than we had when we came back from Liberia in 2023. There are members, depending on which region. I'm in the southern region. We had a meeting with the southern region. Members were elated and excited to see what we can do with global. The eastern region have also had the meeting, and there's some form of excitement in that area. But yes, it is no doubt that many of us who were part of the entire electoral process in Liberia, whatever, those of us who went in for the voter registration process and made a second trip in 2023 for the elections, yeah, we came back discouraged, seeing our party moving from having 7% in the first elections to coming down to 1%. It was challenging for many of our members. Many of them have put the sweat, the time, the toils, the money into and definitely we came back kind of discouraged, upset the system, felt that we had the best candidate. We continue to believe we have the best candidate to transform Liberia and to take Liberia to where Liberia is supposed to be. But this is politics. We were not on a 100-meter fast race or sprint. We are on a marathon. To change minds and hearts of people is a marathon. So we continue to run as ANC.
It's good to have you, Dr. Josh. You said it all, from 7% to 1%, which we know that 1% is just a bogus 1% that they came up with, because I was in Liberia for that election, and the district that I campaigned in and what I voted, even the place I voted, there was zero vote for me. So I don't know where my vote went. So that 1% is something that people have to look at carefully. But having said that, going forward, ANC as an institution, now most people say most parties in Liberia are surrounded by individuals. But I see that ANC is having this convention, and when ANC have a convention, it's always a convention that people want to attend and see, because ANC have been classified as the rich party, the well-educated party in the eyes of many people, and Liberians, for some reason, they're afraid of broke people. So this convention and going forward, how is it going to be like? You guys are going to attract a lot of people to the ANC convention. Talk to what will be the exciting thing about the convention that people will go to, and when they leave, they say, yes, ANC, the 1% is actually back on the political scene.
Yeah, what we're looking for is to first of all stabilize the party and then leave there with the momentum. You remember when we came back from Liberia in 2023, December, we had a meeting, an online meeting with a political leader. In that meeting, he charged us that yes, we are defeated, but we have to go back to the drawing board and work things out to see what we can bring to the Liberian people. So definitely now this convention is first of all to stabilize the party, bring members together to say, look, we have opportunities. But politics is all about interest, right? There are opportunities that are open for us now. We do have that opportunity. 1, 2, we need to move from here governance as a party, especially us in the US, because the primary duty of the role of ANC Global in the whole arrangement of ANC is to provide 2 things. Excuse me. 1 is to provide strategic support for the team in Liberia and to provide financial support for the team in Liberia. So we need to pick up that momentum to start raising funds to get ready for the next election in 2029, and to also start putting strategy together. Not only waiting for 2029, but to also start working on those strategies that will help Liberians to understand that you actually made something very important. I'm sure right now, to Liberians listening to me, we have we know that it makes, when we did the survey was done in Liberia in 2023, 60% of the Liberian people felt that Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings was the best president for Liberia. 60%. But in that same survey, we saw that a whooping 75 to 80% said they were not going to vote for him at this time because they felt that it was the right time for him. They felt that Mr. Borka would have been given his opportunity. But we know that after more than 15 months of this administration, they seem to lack ideas to move the country forward. They seem to be playing the CDC playbook. It's as if to say we have CDC round 2 taking place in Liberia. The president is riding private jet. The president have bought a nearly $1 million vehicle when countries in the world are planning how to develop themselves financially and stabilize themselves, especially with the United States government reducing aid and other things to Liberia. We expected our country to have plans in place so that we can use our resources to make Liberia a rich country. But that's not happening in the country right now. So that's the reason at this time that Liberians are understanding that, and we as ANC need to come up with our plan, our strategy, making Liberian people know that yes, Mr. Alexander Cummings was your best, as you said, in 2023 in the survey we had. He's the best options we have. And Liberia would definitely be a wonderful nation again when we put the right people in the right place. And one of the right persons we need to start thinking about for 2029 is Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings.
Thank you. Let's welcome the chair herself for this convention. Madam Maye, good evening from our end and good afternoon from your end. Welcome to the Bottom Line discussion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. See, you guys are all excited for the upcoming convention that Philadelphia, the brotherly and sisterly love, wherever love state you guys in, there'll be a love situation from the 25th to the 27th. So we talk to us about the excitement of this convention because it is gaining momentum. See flyers all over the place now. People talking about this convention. What would make people like me traveling from Europe there that going to this brotherly love state for this wonderful convention? Talk to us. The excitement of this convention. Why is it entailed?
Yes, thank you again. This convention is a different kind of convention because it's the convention of the whole of global. And so we are camping on the city of brotherly love because we would like to make a difference in Liberia because the alternative ANC is the alternative to what is happening now. Dr. George just went over a couple of things that we are the alternative, and therefore we would like to make the Mama Liberia what she ought to be, what she should be. So this convention is bringing us together after 2023. We were kind of in disarray, but now we have gathered ourselves together and we'd like to have this convention. It will be a great convention. We have our elections, our business meeting, and you will meet people from all walks of life. Liberians as a whole, because we like Liberians to come together. We're not talking about tribes. We're not trying to talk about parties. We want all Liberians to come together so that we can make Mama Liberia what she ought to be. So that's why it's a special kind of convention.
Special kind of convention. So say, yeah. Rob, it's good to have you. This is as ANC is a political institution, and we all get off our 2029 convention. The new quota officer will lead us to the 2029 election. So I guess the momentum now, after 15 months of giving the new government a break, from this convention now we know that ANC will be in a house and will be firing. Linford, it's over to you. Ask a question.
Yeah. Let me say welcome to Madam Maye. This is not her first time here. She's been here all the time. In fact, this is going to be like her platform. whenever she has anything that she wants the public to know, she can come here, and that goes to all of the ANC people. And let me just put you guys on the spot right here, because me and I have to do my thing. The last election, this platform worked very hard, and we hosted Mr. Cummings 2 different times here. But it was difficult to get to most of the people, most of the hierarchy of the ANC, both in Liberia and the US. And I know people will say, authority cannot be close, but they want not deny anything bad. I'm saying it openly so that people will know that the media, no matter how small it is, it got power. Okay, so we hope you guys, this opportunity, people looking for it, all parties looking for it, and you guys have it, so you got to make the best use of it. And having said that, let me find out a little bit about. We're going to do, tonight. We're now not going to be talking about this convention. We'll talk some politics here, because this is a political party, right? So you can't just kind of say, oh, we'll have convention, you're going to have and this. So we'll talk a little bit of politics. But before we do that, let's talk about the ANC Convention. Similar question I asked Dr. Josh, but I will twist it the other way. Madam Menye, normally there were several splinter groups in the ANC. You have ANC Global, you have ANC this, Southwest, East West, and blah blah blah. Yeah. So at this time, according to information we are gathering, we're going to have one ANC Global. What's going to happen? How does this ANC Global reach out to people in all parts of America or even in Europe? Because the reason I'm asking is that, like for example, you got EULA, right? EULA is the umbrella organization for all Liberian organizations in America. The same thing we got it here in Europe, which is EFLA. Now, it is those smaller groups that form together to make the big organization. So with the dissolution of all of the smaller branches that were around the Americas and everywhere, and then you're going for one big global, how are you going to get to the individual members when they have no group to belong to or no group to hold their hand and deliver them to the big or global?
Thank you very much. That's why for about a year, Global was a little bit sitting on the side, and they gave these small groups the opportunity to try to get the act together. But for now, it's only Global that has legal rights to operate in the United States. You know that to operate in the United States, you have to go by the bylaws. There are laws and regulations that govern them. You just can't operate. So that's why we are having this convention, and we give them the opportunity to try to gather all themselves together and then put something uh, forth to the whole of global. But we haven't gotten that from them yet. That is why we're having this convention, so that because some of us tired we've been on, we have surpassed our tenure. So they can go on and try to meet with the other groups, even though they are not they cannot illegally operate in the United States, but they can incorporate them and they can come forward and try to merge together. But they had a whole year to do their work, and up until now they haven't done the work, and we just can't sit and overlaps our time. A lot of people would like to leave. 10 years over a year, over almost 2 years. So, Dr. George, you want to add anything else to that?
Oh yeah, it's a very important question you asked, Langford, and let us take it from different perspective, right? First of all, at the end of the 2017 elections, when we returned to the diaspora, the party requested that there should be one diaspora organization at that time, and therefore it was in the process. that various groups came together to form what we now call ANC Global. When these groups came together, it was only one group in the US that did not join the marriage, and that was ANC USA. Over the time, the party has been working, and when we came back at the election last year, while Global was about the election, we received an important letter from the political leader, and I will read parts of that letter where the political leader shared with us as partisans he felt it was important that we bring all the organizations together. At that time, we had three groups here, which we can admit to. We had ANC USA, we have CPP USA, and some of the members from the Western sector of ANC and others went to join the CPP USA. But things have changed over the period of time. We know that on the 15th of April, 2024, the CPP came to an end, and that automatically brought CPP USA to an end. In fact, the state of Georgia, in which CPP USA was registered, have revoked the registration of CPP USA at that point in time. And then quite recent is ANC USA also had their own challenge. So the only political entity associated with the ANC that is existing currently in North America is ANC Global. But in the second letter, which we received recently from the political leader, his suggestion again is that, okay, in order for us to have this work, in order for us to have better structure, we should now look at not having this grand big ANC Global, but how can we make it more effectively at the organization level? And therefore, conversations have come in play. One of the conversations that come in play is to allow Europe to become autonomous, to allow Asia to become autonomous, to allow Canada to become autonomous. So those are conversations that we are working on in the structure. But for that to take place, because it is situated in ANC Global Constitution, Article 2, Article 7, subsection 2, key, clearly states the membership of ANC Global. So at this convention, one of the important things of the convention is that at this convention, there's a strong possibility that resolutions are being written right now so that we can vote for Europe to become an autonomous part of the ANC. We can vote for Canada to become autonomous from the ANC. Or we may have conversation to see how we can make this work. But to make this work, we have to do it in a legally acceptable and respectable way as an institution, since we are a respectable institution. And that's the reason why we look forward to Lord Cholope coming with his might from Europe to be at this convention, so that resolution of asking Europe to become a separate, to become autonomous will be passed. And then we can now see, okay, global, how do we work this out? Because these other groups, Asia, want to work things by themselves in order for us to have a stronger, viable organization. So that's where we are as a political entity. Yes, we grew big. We're the fastest growing political party in Liberia. Whether you believe it or not, we were the fastest growing political party up to elections. But several things took place, and every one of us who walk the streets with our foot soldiers, we know several things took place that put us to where we were. But definitely, ANC is one of the biggest party. We're growing here in the US. ANC Global raised a little over $1 million in the last political dispensation. That's why some people think we are a rich party, but we are a party of men and women who are passionate about Liberia. We are willing to put 10 cents here, 20 cents here, $10 here, $15 here, so that because we know what Liberia can be. We know the strength of Liberia. We know the country we have, but we know that in order for us to build a better, viable Liberia, need to put in place the right leadership. And those of us who support ANC, we believe the leadership of Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings will be that leadership that will bring the transformation we need in Liberia. Some of us have lived in various countries, but we have also seen people in those countries being very strong. Whether it's in Nigeria, where the Nigerians in the 1990s were strong and brave enough to vote on Abiola and later vote on Olusegun Obasanjo, or whether it was the people of Ghana that was strong enough and brave enough to At a point in time, Meeting Flag Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, but quickly changed into John Kufuor. And we can look at those countries and see between 1992 and now how things have been developed because they have been able to put the right leadership in place. But what we have in Liberia is that, well, we had some form of right leadership under Madam Johnson Sirleaf, and then we decided to go back back another 6 years. And right now, we don't even know where we are because the current leadership, they confuse us almost every week. We don't know whether we left. We don't know whether we right. We don't know whether we're in the middle. And that is the reason why we are having this global convention so we can wake up this sitting giant called ANC Global, go back in Liberia, elevate our party to the level it's going to be, and then move forward as a people and as a political entity.
Great. And you know, it sounds good and it sounds logical. But let me stretch it a little bit on the other side. The bulk of the support for the ANC comes from the United States of America or from the diaspora, so to speak. And people are supposed to be on the ground working. How is that coordination? You know, I should be asking these questions to, I think, people who are charged with responsibilities for certain things. But, you know, since you guys are also members of the organization in here, that's why I'm just throwing it out if you have any idea on it. So what is the coordination? The diaspora group that is doing most of the heavy the weightlifting, and then the group that is on the ground that is supposed to be doing the actual implementation of the political things, like reaching out, you know, and all of these things. How is the coordination?
Yeah, first of all, Lanford, I will correct you. We if you won't mind.
I said to be corrected.
Yeah, we don't. Is not doing the bulk of heavy lifting, right? We have very committed men and women in Liberia, young men and women that I have worked with, who are willing to put in the sweat and the time. So that's the one end. But yes, ANC Global responsibility, as I said earlier on, as a part of ANC, for two things. First of all, strategic support for the party in Liberia and financial support for the party in Liberia. That's why we're able to raise away $1 million in the last election cycle. So that's our duty. That's the bulk, but that is our responsibility because there is a book that has a quotation that said, "To whom much is given, much is expected." And those of us in the diaspora, we benefit a lot. We have a lot financially. We work and we are able to support. Now, how does it work? For the last electoral cycle, I was the co-coordinator for the Texas chapter. Unfortunately, after the elections, while coming back, I think we're in Rootback when the coordinator and so rest in peace, Seattle passed away, and I had to take over that responsibility. But this is how it works. In ANC, we have something, and hopefully this will not be adopted by other parties, but just to answer your question, we adapt the counties. So each chapter is responsible for specific counties. I'm from Texas and California joined, and we're responsible for Monserrado, Grand Cape Mau, and Bombing County. And Monserrado, Grand Cape Mau, Bombing, and Babalu counties. We were financially responsible for those four counties. We paid for the party headquarters in those counties. We supported mobilization in those counties. In fact, during voter registrations, I was in Liberia, and Texas chapter put in a lot of funding, along with California chapter, a lot of funding to support voter registration and voter education in Monserrado, Bombing, Babalu, and Grand Cape Mau County. In fact, I visited Grand Cape Mau County 3 times during the voter registration, along with other members of our team that were in Liberia at that time. So that is our support. But we have foot soldiers, and over time, we are going to work this out. We're going to make sure it is perfect, because over time we begin to listen to different voices in the country, and listening to those voices at a point in time, sometimes we sideline, and it was difficult for our people on the ground to understand what was the strategic reason that we had to be, first of all, when we joined the CPP alliance. Anybody who were part of the ANC know that there were some voices that were saying, no, we can do this by ourselves. We don't have to join the alliance. And we did join the alliance. When the CPP started to break out, there were voices that we should also move away. But we are a party of commitment, and when we commit ourselves to something, we want to see it through. So we could not just run away when everybody else was running at that time. But we are still studying it, and we should do better. But yeah, that's how it works. So we sent funding from Texas chapter. Madam, my chair lady was responsible for Grand Banter. So she will explain why. But some of the funding went to the party headquarters. We go through Global, and the funding from our chapter to Global go down to the party headquarters in Liberia, and it distributed to the foot soldiers on the ground. Sometimes we support directly. For example, when we're going to Grand Banter County to unveil the vice standard bearer, we sent our funding directly to get our team from Maserado, our team from Lofa, our team from Bombing, Cape Mount, and what they play to Babulu to drive to get to Grand Bassa County. So yes, so in two parts, your question. In first hand, we are not the only. We are strategic. We are responsible for strategically supporting the party in Liberia and financially supporting the party in Liberia. But there are great young men, great young women in Monrovia who are doing great work. In fact, the youth is having a great, they are organizing themselves on Monday. The youth organized themselves, they painted the party headquarters. The coordinators are moving from counties to counties. Talking district leaders are still working out, trying to work with the people. So that we have a great team in the country, and we are very, very we appreciate the work they are doing, and we know that once we wake up this giant called ANC Global, we will be able to support our team on the ground to get things going as it should be.
The giant need to wake up after the convention. This is where the ANC is heading.
Yeah,
you said it all, Dr. George. Yeah, I think it will be necessary for ANC to wake up, because it's been quiet. 15 months of giving this government free pass that are doing absolutely nothing, and people are crying. So yeah, the giant wake up. Therefore, being a member of this convention, I think I'll accept the question from you. So I'll let you flow through all.
Can I add something on to what Dr. George just said?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm the coordinator for the Delaware Valley chapter, which has Delaware, the state of Delaware, the state of Pennsylvania, and part of New Jersey. We are responsible for Grand Bassa County. In fact, today the VCO, who was the chairman for the county chairman, he just called me today to ask me who is the new person coming on for the Delaware Valley chapter, so I can introduce them. I told him after the elections, then I will do that. But right now, I'm still there, even though I'm tired now. Okay, we were responsible.
I'm getting a little bit confused here.
Mm.
You're supposed to have one global, right? So is the ANC still going to maintain those chapters?
Yes, absolutely. We still got the chapters, and each chapter is responsible for a county or two counties. And like Dr. George said, we support them both morally and financially.
Okay, because my understanding was when I first heard about this global thing, where the other nominal groups were going to be made to go silent, or not silent, that's the wrong word, but we're going to be like, yeah, just join the global and everybody become one. I thought it was going to be like one central command, that you don't have chapters in other places, but members are all over the place, but no branch, nothing there, that people can just come together as ANC Global. But it's good that I made a clarification that there will be chapters,
we will still have chapters if we can come together. I mean, if the other people come to Global or whatsoever arrangement we have, there will still have to be chapters within the US. And the chapters will still have to support the party on the ground.
Okay,
And
that's good.
this is the
Uh,
way we shall put the party on the ground.
there is
And
there is somebody's asking for the
mhm,
number to call. If you want to call, the number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen, but I guess it's very small to see. So I will just read it. Or I will put it in the chat room right here on the dashboard where you're asking for the number to call. Because I'm not too sure the UK number that which starts with 44 plus 44 is working now because that's my colleague's number and he's not here. But my number is +47. That's the country code. You see, we got +1 America, so we got +47 99 450 882. Once again, a little bit faster. +47 99 450 882. So if you call that number, it's a WhatsApp number. If you call it, we'll be able to have a conversation. But
They can call both numbers are active.
okay. Okay, so the Paul is like trying to, put everything in my lap, and he say, "Myself, a simple type of the ANC." So you gotta come in with some question. But let me ask.
Sure. No, let me expand on something here.
Go ahead, just finish. Maybe go ahead, just
Yeah,
finish.
you were saying
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah. Okay. You asked the question about something that will happen, a vision, and that we have one diaspora. But right now, ANC Global is the only institution that is alive and can operate in the United States. So while that process or that vision is being materialized, with this ANC Global has to still uh, take up her responsibility, and the responsibility is to provide financial as well as guidance for the party on the ground. So that's what this convention is all about, because they are working hard on the ground. Or the VCO is, in fact, he just sent me a budget, and I said that I would talk to Dr. Emmanuel and see what we can do when we go to our meeting tomorrow. But they are all working, trying to wake up the sleeping giant. And so the support comes from here. So that's why we are doing all of this for the convention, and we cannot let the party die. So we cannot wait in the interim while the process is going on to have one diaspora. Global is the only one standing, and therefore we have to take up our responsibility. And so this is why this convention is so important. Okay, like we are saying, but supporting it on the ground. We have a DAPA county that the chapters take some counties and they support the counties. So the counties on the ground, they either get support from global or they get support from the chapters. So you see, we have a big responsibility, because we have to pay our dues. We have fundraising, and we have to come up with money and make pledges and things. Then we have to take care of the clients that were adopted on the ground. So
That's
this is
let me get ask this one. It actually has to do with the leadership of the
okay.
party right now.
Mhm.
Except from Mr. Cummings, who is the standard bearer and the
So
political.
he's the political leader right now.
Okay, the political leader. But let me ask one question: what are those positions that will be contested during this convention?
Every position is up for grabs.
Hmm.
Every position.
Even the how you call that, the standard bearer position.
How can we put the standard bearer position? Oh, well, I mean, global, the standard bearer is not part of global.
Oh, okay.
So every position within global.
Yeah,
And I believe I
I have
believe,
this picture of ANC in my mind. That's why.
yeah, and I believe Morovia, the part of the ground, is also slated to have a whole convention too. So almost we are restructuring almost the whole structure.
Mhm.
Mm.
Paul, you want to drop in?
Well, the thing is, you asked a question regarding what ANC doing
You
on
can
the
also answer questions. You can help to answer
yeah
the questions too.
Mm.
yeah and Dr. George said it because I know you were responsible for Bond County as well.
Yes.
So so that strategy is actually work. But then people now been asking, people have
Hmm.
been calling,
Hmm.
what are we doing? That's the question now people are asking. I think there's a message on the thing. There's somebody send me a message, Uncle Paul. This is a message. If you see it there, Linford,
Mm.
this young man is kind of keen on ANC as well because people are not asking. And the reason why people are asking the third option, because we have two political parties that have failed Liberia desperately. So people are now asking. So I got a call 2 days ago from somebody who voted for the Unity Party. And this person in their belief that President Barker was going to be the trouble. But now he's so disappointed. So he's now talking to me that look, he's looking at ANC and the way things are, the people are talking in their community. So he reached out. What's going on? So I said there will be a convention, and after the convention, you'll see people moving. The movement will start. The party decided to give Liberians the opportunity to experience what they wanted. So the experience is there now. So, leave for to your question, yes, the ANC have structure all over the 15 counties, and Global have been the financier of those structures in place. So yes, they will be. That's what they said. After the convention, it will be a different ball game.
Exactly. And one of the things you need to consider, Mr. Langford, maybe I can draw the picture so you can see that, right? Um, we have ANC, and ANC has a headquarters in Monrovia, Liberia, on the old road. All right. And then ANC ANC has chapter branches, and one of the branches of the ANC is ANC Global. We happens to be um, those who live in diaspora. Now, for us to elect a political leader, we have to go for a convention in Liberia. And that convention was scheduled to happen after our convention. But right now, we are working on modalities to have that convention where the political leader is in Liberia that we elect political leader. So what we do at Global Convention is to elect the officers of Global, the regional chairs, the chairperson, and then the chapter leaders. Now, I know in your mind you were trying to see this one global organization, but that is not the picture. The picture and the dream to have a one diaspora organization here in the US, because the US was the only place we had three organizations, because there was a birth of the movement took place in the US, and we had these three organizations going to elections: CPP USA and ANC USA. We did not have that problem. I don't believe we had that problem in Europe. I don't believe we had that issue in Asia, nor did we have that issue in North America. So what in Canada, rather, in Mexico. So what the structure that the PL is asking is that here in continental USA, I mean in the United States of America, rather, there should be one entity, one ANC here in the US. And then there is the core, because Europe have asked that they would like to be separate. They would like, because Europe is big. So it's that the conversation we'll be having, but that's how the structure works. Now, in the ANC, we have regions. Europe is a region right now. We have Africa is a region. For countries outside Liberia, we had a very strong representative in Rwanda. I think Ghana and another country that needs to attend our meetings. And then Asia is a region. And then in the US, we have the West region, we have Southern region, the Eastern region. And those regions now has chapters, and there's a chapter leader. They have the chapter leaders honor the regional leaders. So I'm from the Southern region. My regional chair going to election was Rosalind. Right now, my regional chair is Mr. James Taylor, and then I'm the chapter leader for the great state of Texas, which was one of the strongest financial supporter to the ANC. And then we have Wanty Clark is in a great manner. And then we have Faustina Dan. He's in Georgia. In Florida, we have what his name? Roosevelt. it's in. I hope he doesn't kill my good friend. He is there in Florida. So that's how the structure is right now. So we are not killing the structure. We're just trying to bring everything together because we need this structure. This structure have work. And we need it to work. We just want to be a more viable organization so that we'll be able to support better.
I'll quickly squeeze in this one.
Yeah,
it's a bit tricky. Prior to the election, you had 3 organizations under the ANC operating in the US, and then after the elections, then you want to have one global, which is understandable. But I don't know whether the right word would be the dissolution of those groups to form one group. Do you think it went down well with all of the members of those different groups? Because it's like you live in the United States, right? There are several countries that make up the United States, and then all of a sudden you say, okay, you know what? We're going to close down Texas and all the other states, and we just have America. Okay. And when you do that, you're gonna be taking leadership away. You're gonna be doing all this. I will tell you something just before you answer the question. My country, Norway.
I would like to start.
You will tell me. My country, Norway, they did something. Some of the countries are very small and some are big. No development. Like where I live is the biggest country, but no big city. When the farmers all over the place. So they say, okay, let's combine some of the countries. But then when they combine the countries, it took only 2 years, they had to break them up again. Because the confusion was when we were here, we have no leadership. And then the poor they say they want so because they get money, so they're thinking, we agree, we want to go back to our status. So that's what I'm asking. Are you getting the cooperation of people who were in those groups before?
Can I get something straight first? First of all, we are not the one who have dissolved or those groups are not functioning anymore. Global had nothing to do with it.
Who did it?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Like I said before, when you live in the United States and there are rules and regulations you have to follow. That's the first thing. Okay. These groups were organized, came to foundation through various processes. CPP came through an MOU. And within our MOU, they had time limitation after the election. So that was signed between Liberty Party and the ANC party on the ground. It's the marriage that what's his name? Dr. George was talking about. So that's how that came about. Then we have the ANC USA. The dissolution came about through their own fault. It's not ours. It came about through their own fault. And it's the State Department, the IRS, right, Dr. George? Yeah.
Secretary of State for the state they register in.
Yeah, pardon me?
The Secretary of State for the state they register in.
Yes. So that's where, because I think ANC USA was registered in Maryland, and CPP USA was registered in Georgia. So it's those states that did the dissolve them. It had nothing to do with ANC Global. But at the same token, with the mandate given Global by our political leader.
But my aim was not to find out who actually dissolved them, whether they were dissolved
Okay,
or
but
whatever. My
that,
question here is whether
mm,
you get the cooperation from them, because since what they were in different groups and now those groups no more exist. Are they coming on board? That's the question. That's what I want to find out.
well, some coming on board and some not coming on board, but they're supposed to be. We gave them a year to work on the committee, but they didn't come out with anything concrete. So Global step on her responsibility. The party on the ground is dying. We can't let our party die. So right now we are the only constituted entity or institution to do what is needed for our party. So we took the mantle. While they're still trying to work around it, they can't get an act together. We got to do what we have to do as an institution for
Okay,
our
so
party.
it sounds as if the new leadership for the global will have to do a lot of work to try to get those people back on board, which I don't believe will be very difficult because if they're all ANC members, it should be very easy for them to come back. Except I don't want to add anything, but
I
I want
just
to.
want us to leave from here and your viewers thinking that we have a big how they call it economy, or we have factions with it in the ANC. No, we don't. We don't have it makes sound like or it may come up with. What we
And
have here is members of the ANC who have different views as to where the party is supposed to be. And definitely conversation is taking place. People are coming back. We honestly every day we receive phone calls, not coming back, but they are taking out the responsibility and understanding the role of the ANC. For example, if you take CPP USA, as I said before, I'm a member of the CPP USA. Also, I'm affiliated with CPP USA, but I could not serve in leadership role. I still continue to be the coordinator for the Texas chapter, co-coordinator and coordinator. But on the 15th of April, the CPP came to an end. And once CPP came to an end, the 15th of April, that marriage between the party, half of the Liberty Party, as I would like to say, and the ANC came to an end. So those who affiliated came back, they are home. Some of them are home. Some of them are still thinking about what the next step is. This is politics, land. Politics is about interest. And after election cycle, we all sit down to look at what is our next interest in the next 6 years. Which political party can I affiliate that will help me to reach this my political interest for the next 6 years? So definitely there will be alignment and realignment. There are some members of the ANC who are serving currently in this government. They realigned when the party said we're going to join the CDC. They aligned. The deputy secretary and others went to the UP, and the assistant minister for transport in the UP government was one of the leaders of ANC. I think he was either mobilization or vice chairman for you something, but he's there. So what we're doing now is to have this conversation so that people can see that there's a political future. We have people come, even in Liberia. On Monday, there's going to be a big program at the headquarters. Star One Way and other who left during the time of the senatorial election, the midterm senatorial election in 2020. They are coming back to the party. So people will leave, people will come back, but it is our duty, as you said, it is our duty to continue to show that there is an ANC here and we have a great future. We are the party. We have a wonderful political leader in the person of Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. We have a great group in the ANC Global who raised any group you have that can raise over $1 million for you in an election cycle is a great group, and you want to maintain that group. And that's why we have to continuously maintain ANC Global and at the same time continue to have conversation with our great brothers and sisters who have been in other places. Again, as our chairleader said, there are something in my field. Currently, I work in the field of behavior. And in my field of behavior, there is something we call natural consequences. So the other political entity that we had in North America are struggling with natural consequences. And for the CPP USA, the natural consequence was that CPP came to April 15, 2024. For the ANC USA, they could not do some things that they had to do to be political viable. So the Secretary of State of the state they were registered in have withdrawn their registration. So that entity is no longer there. But there are other great entities we have to establish. We have to think about Europe with Lord Cholobe on the helm of things in Europe. We have to think about the brothers in Rwanda, those in Asia. We have to think about how to make this struggle strong and viable, and how to make these groups stronger, as strong as we have here in the USA.
Okay, it was good that you mentioned a time when waiting, because just before the program started, I was going through my Facebook and I saw somebody that one way and Mr. Cummings' picture, like a little flyer, and then he said you were going to be at the convention, right? And then somebody wrote that, are you going to eat your own liability, and all the other people eat too? So people have got it said that the ANC is this big political elephant that you can kind of cut your pie and go. But you know that, of course, like you said, we in the game of politics, people will say all kinds of things. But I'm going to do a very quick break, just to pop your eye, and then we'll come back. When we come back, we'll be doing general politics, and after that, because we're going to have our time, and then we'll come back, then we'll do general politics about Liberia. You know, we all political animals, right? So we can't let the politics pop out. So we take a very short break, and then we'll be back with that segment of the program.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
And if you just joining us, we want to officially say welcome again to the Bottom Line Liberia. Today is Tuesday, the 4th. Friday, sorry. For some reason, Tuesday always coming first in my mind. Friday, the 4th of April, 2025, and we have folks from the ANC Global, and they're having this big event that is coming up, convention. You know, for any political party, I think that's one of the biggest events before the main elections, because at the convention is where you will see all of your members. Some of the people you can hear their names, but you're going to be seeing them. So everybody's coming to showcase, and like I asked Madam May, and she said all positions are up for grabs. Who knows? Maybe if I was there, I'm going to run for something. Even if I don't live in the US, I'm going to be there to represent. When Paul comes back to Europe, then we'll be doing our European thing too. But let me say welcome to you guys again, Dr. Joyce and Madam May. We're going to do a little bit of general politics. Now, but this time you can be involved, because it's not about the ANC leadership stuff. Now, 1 year, 4 months, a government headed by somebody who has worked in his life, all his life in government, in past governments. Though he had not been president, but he went very close to being the president when he was first president. So it's like if my mom was cooking in the kitchen, and I'm not the one cooking, but I'm there. When she said, I want the salt, I get the salt. The pepper. And I'm watching her, how much she measuring to put in the soup, right? So the day my mother there, I can try. And then all of a sudden, my mom said, today you're cooking. So then I will take a responsibility, because I've been watching her, doing everything that she's doing. So we got this president with 40-some years experience in different sectors of government, and then he finally took the front seat. And where we are, I don't know. I want you to come out of your ship as opposition leaders, right? Probably you can add a political flavor to it, or you can just speak as a Liberian citizen. Where do you see our country driving to? Is this what we expected, or is this the best that we can get? I don't know if we can start.
Well, as for me, uh, I did not expect anything different because I was in Liberia
Hmm.
for the election, and after the election, because I was in Bassa, in fact, I was in Bassa. After the election, I came back to the city, and I stayed there for a little while, observing. And I said before the election, and I'm saying, I said after, and I'm saying now, I did not expect anything different. No, I did not. I was hoping that it would be different, but I did not. Because, like I said, I seen 6 and 7. That's my personal observation. And I told a lot of them, some of my relatives, my brother, and all, I said, well, we'll give you all 1 year. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't even go online. 1 year to have your government put in place. But after 1 year, I will come up to criticize you guys because I know it wouldn't change. And I will come back to Liberia and I will ask you one question. Has your life changed? Is it different from the last government? I, and I hope that it has changed because if it hasn't and has gotten worse, then you got to answer for it.
Hmm.
So that's my answer.
Dr. George, you want to flow on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we didn't have much expectation. I mean, as a Liberian citizen, I always look forward to a better, wonderful country, and look forward to supporting whoever is the president for us to have the kind of country we want to have, and with all the potential we have as a people, and then as a country. But to go back to another line for which is a beautiful analogy, when your mom teach you how to cook, and your own and say they can cook or walk and cook. What you the stranger now? What are you supposed to say? You know, I mean, His Excellency Joseph Boyka was vice president of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for 12 years, and Madam Sirleaf have never ever supported him in any presidential elections. So that is the first signal to us as Liberians. Those of you who work in offices, when you're moving from one job to another job, you have to have letter of recommendation. Director refuse to give you letter of recommendation. You don't put that job on your CV, right? You don't put it in your CV because you don't want them calling your direct supervisor. But we have a situation where a vice president have never gotten an approval from his former leader, because she was signaling to us that this gentleman is not a good leader. He cannot be a good president of this country. But we as Liberians, we saw it as something different. And then we entered the CPP agreement. The primary reason why the CPP broke was because Joseph Boyka believed that he was anointed to be president of Liberia. Yes. And that he would give anybody else the opportunity to go to a convention, have an election so that he can be voted in by other people. And it's that belief system that broke the CPP. So we have what we have now because there was no challenge, there was no intellectual discourse, there was no conversation as to what you have to offer. Just few people gather together and believe that this person should be. But even within that, the inner caucus, where are they now? Where is our uncle Bernard Ure? He was kicked out at the last minute. Where is propagandist Harry Costa? He was also kicked out at the end of time. So we don't see any leadership. Right now, we have a situation where we have two speakers in our country. We have a situation where the Supreme Court had oral argument. And at the end of the Supreme Court oral argument, the same day with the oral argument, Spoon TV is reporting that President Boyka had meetings with two judges of the Supreme Court. So, when the old man say you can't cook, those are all who strangers. We decided that we were for the Omar, we were sparing the full suite, we were sparing the food in the kitchen, we spared that the scent was too good. And we said, oh, but the gatekeeper for the kitchen with the Omar, so how the food will not be sweet. That's how we experience it right now. Because Madam Sirleaf have told us in two different circles 2 election cycles that this gentleman cannot lead Liberia. And that's why we are seeing the country. Everything is how they call it. I mean, people say, oh, the old man ain't like good thing. The old man ride private plane. The old man ain't like good thing. The old man ride $1 billion Lexus Jeep in the country. And then we have a situation. There's no solution in the country. Almost everything. As I said previously, it's like when a UP government decided to rule, they went back to the George Weah government and said, let us see the book. What did you use to rule this country in the last 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Then okay, since this is what you used to rule the country in the last 6 years, I would use the same book, but it worse.
Dr. George, let me add to this. You know, Liberia is a country, there's a music in Liberia called Zombie. We in Liberia will behave like the zombies. One must is people in Assam decided that that the papi won because he will be like this, and nobody thinking why is it that Eddie could not give this guy reference, and people didn't ask that question, and they went against Eddie. Said, "Oh, the old man will prosecute Eddie." That was so they would behave like zombie, would just go one direction and then later on say, oh, if we knew because we don't sit and read between the lines. Any government, everyone knows she herself took responsibility, was the most corrupt government, and he served as vice president for 12 years on earth, and people say, oh no, he was the cleaner person, but there's a information that we got that a man built $20 million estate in Freetown. Liberians knew that, they ignored that. When he became chairman of the CPP, it was a clear-cut example. His leadership style, CPP died. People say we'll put him there. So that's what they wanted. And so now this guy wearing $850 shoes and George Weah wore $3,000. So everything that George Weah did is just a copycat. So a friend of mine said to me, look, they papi, he have fake it in left until he made it. And that so and you fake it, he cannot do things the right way. And that's how he have no clue of what he's doing. So now parents now are not crying. Say, oh, that man was 80 years old, he won't ride the kind of car that George Weah riding, but the guy going beyond Weah.
Paul, do you have that video? Do you have that video where he said he will rap wheelbarrow?
Wheelbarrow.
I think I have the video, so let me see if I can retrieve it. Then
okay.
That's what he said.
While Paul is retrieving that video, I want us to talk about this car. Now, I hope people will not get me wrong. We know that president of any country needs car. Even me here, I'm driving Okada. I'm satisfied with. Okay. Now, so what you think about president? But if I will not I'm the president for my house, my 4 little kids, my wife. So I'm the president for my house. So I got to know my economy, my economic power. So if I go to buy the electric cars that they bring in, that cost $1 million of our money, which is $120,000 okay. And then my children are home starving. Even when they sit in the car, they'll be crying. How useful is it? So, I want us to talk about this car. Was it really necessary that the president would buy this type of car? I mean, we're not talking as opposition, but let's look at it as reality for all Liberians. A country where you are borrowing money, okay? As we stand, you got almost 800 million, or I know all their budget. And according to that budget, 3/4 of it was supposed to be, financed by donors. And you don't have money, then you buy no kind of car for an 8-year-old man that even if I shout at, will faint.
So this was his own thing, because he was complaining about the former
mother.
Yes. And this is what he said.
I can ride wheelbarrow to go to that night shift. I don't care.
I'm telling you honestly, I can ride wheelbarrow to go to that mansion. I don't care. I'm telling you honestly, I can ride wheelbarrow to go to that mansion. I don't care.
The sad thing is that it's the other cars that are around that car. That's where the problem is. So by the time you see the president car, the other cars are riding, you see poverty straight. The president's gonna wake up and say, "What? What can I call the car
and the people want to justify, say, oh, the man need bulletproof, he need this because he's president. I said, hold on a minute. The story was the man said he's died. Even he died, we'll put him there. So somebody that you said even he a caster will put him there. Why would he want right $80,000? I mean, $1.1 million car. Why?
So who is he afraid of?
They don't even have paracetamol. Man.
Who is he afraid of?
You see, when I was much younger, I used to run companies. I used to tell people who wanted to make more money, I have no problem with you making more money. Then make sure that you make the money that you bring to me is 3 times the money you want me. That will give you that salary. So if President Walker wants to ride a $1.something million car, that's no problem. I mean, but let us develop a country. We have a country where the youth unemployment is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How many people have been employed in the last 1 year? How many youth have we been able to employ in this country? Every year we graduate no more than 500 graduates from our universities in the country. Of those 500, not more than 10% get jobs in the country. Not more than 10%. So we are unloading into the Liberian into Liberia educated people who may start to think smart and find a way to rob the system. That's the situation we have in Nigeria, where you have a lot of smart people and there is no job. So they find ways. To make money because somebody got to live. So if every year we are putting not less than 500 graduates in, we are grading them from all our universities, those people will have to live. They will have to survive. Their parents are looking up to them. The parents are looking up to them because you and myself, when we graduated from high school, we graduated from college, where the papi and the old man to us say, "Oh, you be man now. You sort of be bringing money in the heart."
Who won't work?
You know what? So we had to go hustle for government job on the side, hustle for something else so that we can make ours to be strong. So imagine that number of people on the market, what their parents is asking. Then we are not creating jobs. But yet, then besides that, we just lost over between $50 to $100 million of donors something. It's just the U.S. government who have withdrawn. But I worked in the NGO sector in Liberia for a while and led, in fact, at a point in time, I led all the international NGOs in Liberia. And one thing that is clear is that the funding that we received 10 years ago, that funding is no longer coming to Liberia. Perhaps the biggest funding we have in coming in the country is for information. And, you know, it's not, we're not receiving those big money to do things. So the government needs to be very careful of how we spend money. Now that the U.S. president have now put 10% tax on us, or tariff on our country, even though we don't export much.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what do we export to America?
No, there is AGOA. Many people know there is AGOA that gives our farmers the opportunity. All these Liberian restaurant we have here, you have a lot of them in Philadelphia. I don't know about, I can't talk about Europe, but if you go into Minnesota, we have a lot of Liberian restaurants. Most of those people go to Liberia and bring the sour leaf and other things back here. There is a Liberian company that is making rest, that export rest from Liberia into the US. Now, all those, first of all, to manufacture is very expensive. Then the tariff added to that. You and myself coming to start paying very high for African food. It's very expensive already. But we have to pay either we join this Nigerian, I think it's a Liberian Nigerian guy in Canada that started to he's planting African food in Canada. Maybe we'll pay other people. But that's what we're gonna have tariff on. We also have cocoa, we also have rubber.
Mhm.
And tariff will come from the cocoa and on the cocoa that comes into especially rubber comes into this country. So
So Dr. George, the funny thing about my country, Liberia, I've said previously that we behave like zombies because we get things one sided. We voted Joseph Boyka, but then there's a young man in Burkina Faso that the very people that did the wrong thing in Liberia, they now praising this young man. So I don't understand us. You see the difference. This young man in the power, we have a new government, experienced government, 50-year governmental experience. They start riding a $1 million car. Then there's young man in Burkina Faso. He's not riding $1 million car. Look at the tomato plant that he done in less than a year. So what a comparison here for somebody who of age that's supposed to make the country look better, and a 35-year-old young man with wisdom doing something like that. People can learn from the young man. Instead, they're doing something that they didn't do in their prime. What say you?
Yeah, but going all the way to Burkina Faso, first of all, I'm biased. I grew up and went to school with a political thought of Wole Soyinka. The best military government cannot be better than the worst civilian government. That was the philosophy of Wole Soyinka. So I have that bias, right? I have that bias in that philosophy. But Paul, every one of us, those who are listening to this program, if you don't believe me, do the research yourself. 10 years ago, Liberia, Sierra Leone, 10, 15 years ago, Liberia, Sierra Leone were on the same. I don't want to go all the way to Burkina Faso because it's very far. Liberia and Sierra Leone was almost on the same path. Almost on the same path. But today, Sierra Leone has passed us. Everybody in our region, every country in our region is developing more than our country. Every country in our region. And if there is nothing that will wake up us, that is, do you know that we buy pepper from Guinea? That's one of the reasons we struggle with Ebola. We went to have party and we went there, we brought Ebola or after that. Why should we do that? We have Danane and these big Ivorian cities close to Liberia. They are about 1 hour, maybe 2 hours drive or 3 hours drive from Danane to Banga. Why don't we start thinking about expanding so that we can attract those people to come to Liberia to travel or do other things? So it's amazing how backwards we are as a country. It's just amazing how it is. How when you drive from Liberia, to the border with Sierra Leone, you will struggle with potholes. After you pass from how they call it, you pass Freeport. By the time you cross the Gabriel Tucker Bridge, you start to struggle with pothole until you get to the border. How they call that border in Cape Man County. Once you cross that border and you get to Sierra Leone, the road is much better. What's the problem? Why is it that it's better? When President Boyka, when we were campaigning, when President Boyka was part of the CPP and were campaigning, and we wanted to go up to Lofa to campaign at that time with what his name, the former defense minister. How did it? Yeah, the president used to go to Sierra Leone to come to Lofa. Because the roads there is better than our own road. You couldn't travel from Monrovia directly to Lofa.
Where you going? Where to the campaign time for? Now that the man is president, when you're going to Lofa, ain't flew private helicopter.
Because at that time he didn't have the money for the private helicopter. That's how he used right? Drive through Sierra Leone to come to Lofa and then come into Lofa. That's how he needs to travel. So those things. As a president, once you become president, you should be able to stand and say, no, I mean, I've experienced this thing. This is not in the best interest of my country. But instead of solving that problem, I agree with you, Lanford. What we're doing now is that we have a private headquarters to fly into Lofa. Even though headquarters, they are not safe. And, they are not safe at times. Because sometimes the private headquarters, some of them are not new. And the weather condition in that area just is how they call it. But that's the situation we have. So whenever, I mean, I appreciate what the young man in Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso is. My wife makes sure that every day she sends me video of him. Every day she sent me video of Tuari. But I grew up with a philosophy of Wale Soyinka. A military junta cannot be better than the best civilian government.
But you better now.
Yeah, but this guy, and for some reason now, I mean, the Ghanaian president have taken cue from him, saying like, oh, let me learn from this young man. So why can't Liberia do the same thing? And yesterday, Thursday, the Sahel state, the 3 countries from that region, their foreign minister was in Moscow to secure a serious deal regarding, because if you look at Donald Trump, all of this tariff and thing, Russia is not part of it because they get over 1 million sanctions on them, so they're not part of the thing. So now people are going on the other side, getting good deals from there. Sierra Leone just mentioned. The foreign minister of Sierra Leone, he also stayed in Moscow. And what he did, he used an influence. The Russians going to build a nuclear power plant for Sierra Leone based on their negotiation. So why is it that our own country just stop one place, they can't look elsewhere? I mean, why your thoughts? I will start with says either on this one, say Eto, why your thought on this? That we can look other places, it have to be one person.
It has to be the US. Let me see.
They have to be the US.
Yes, it has to be the US. But I don't know place they're looking. I don't know. Liberians are just special kind of people. They used to the US. We used to the US so much that until they don't believe any other person but the US. So that's why we just stuck in our time. We just stuck in it.
When you say this, it takes me, or I put myself in the picture, right? I live in Europe. All my life in Liberia, when I was small boy growing up, I used to do about correspondences. I
went to America.
Yeah, America. Then I got opportunity to come to Europe. When I came to Europe, the first thing I saw was language barrier. Okay. Yeah. So even until now, I still feel that I should go to America. All the time I should go to Houston. I go my whole family in Houston. Except my daughter who is in another state. But that Americanness is there.
Yes.
Because this is where our eye open. Take Ghana man. Ask Ghana man, the first people want to go to London.
London, yeah.
The first people want to go to London. Okay, so the guys team and they made us to believe that okay, this is where you belong, and that's it. And for good reason. So if the first time I got to America, I've been there before, okay? Because everywhere I turn that English, everybody's speaking.
Yeah.
So here I have to learn the language, that barrier, the culture, and everything is different. So that's why you see Liberians, and I don't blame us when we do that because again, you are a doctor. So if you're a doctor, if you are not home, your adapter home is your home. So that's it.
But if your parent if they adapt you and they don't treat you right, and you go look for somewhere else.
Exactly.
Before you go, at least they're not treating you well, but when they go in your eat, so the new place going to go.
You see, therefore you got the total Liberian mentality. They don't care about that. It's just where the mind is.
Yeah. At least when at the end of the day, you get home somewhere, you can turn around and you see the guys, or our time is fast spent, and I know you guys got to go, and that was just a little bit about our politics. The Liberia is like one old car. When you're starting, anyone start, you say that battery, you connect all the wire, you start. Before you move, the tire, when you fix the tire, then the couple reach out. Something. Liberia, me, I've been in the Liberian political team for a very long time. I served 3 presidents. So I know. And this year will not end just now until we can get the leader that will. No, we don't need a military leader, but there's a way that our civilian president can be like a military man, where you stand, you say, I'm doing this. If you minister, you have to come to work 8 o'clock, be there 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
If you have to do this, take. And one of the biggest problems we have in Liberia is, we don't have us. We get a government, but we don't have structure. Because I'll give you one quick example before we close. Norway here helped to train the police in Liberia during Madam Salif time. Okay, and I know who the Norwegian police are. That today the police in Liberia, they don't have respect. That they don't respect themselves. That every day they in scuffle with citizens.
Yes.
Never ever, even the craziest Norwegian police bring you will not do that. So that these people invested their money, they train the police in Liberia. When other people came, they move all upon our train and brought in their own Joe Blow there. And no Joe Blow there too. When new administration came, they moved there, then they brought in some Nuko. So you see, this is one of the problems we got. And that's one example about the police, right? But look at professional people. You got a professional doctor, or let's say professional journalist. Then when you take over, you move in, then you grab one guy yourself and you put in there. When they work out, you're moving, I bring up people. Putting people in the wrong position, putting the wrong people in the wrong position. I don't want to take your time. So I don't know, Paul, if you have anything to add.
I just want to say something before we go, because we're going for the convention. After the convention, we firing, and people who brought Joseph Boyka on us, they have to be told. Do you know what this guy who have the networkers spoon the in America there? What get him so pissed off with Joseph Boyka? Many people say, "Oh, the man cut him off." It's not about cutting him off. It's like, I'm the best criminal in town. And then some old guy decided to play on my intelligence and steal from me too. So they say steal from Steve, make God laugh. The old man play on them, and that they want hurting them. For the old man to take money off them. How? And the way he play, he even play our ANC, Mr. Cummings too, on this. So the old man is one of the best criminal on the land that people don't know that when they bought into him. So they getting so angry. And when he said by just, I can't believe the papa play on me. But this guy who played the greatest country on the planet Earth, he could not believe that some old guy could play on his intelligence too. And that's why getting him so pissed off. So I just want to know this is why he is mad. And he doesn't want to say it every now and then. Oh, we got to find third option. Who the third option? He's now supporting Jeremiah Cohn, another criminal.
Well,
okay.
One thing I want to say before we get close is that all of these things happen for a reason. Imagine that if George Weah had not become president of Liberia, some people we say, the kind of opportunity Liberia people miss. That boy, that man there, he was the man. George Weah, we saw what he did. And then, old man Boyka, 45 years in government, hey, you're doing, he let it man, the opportunity you're missing. The man who was the whole 45 years, then you're until that old man, the old man was, I know what it was somewhere. Because all we hear during the election have wisdom, the old man is wise. And then we're going to still be living in town. So 6 years, I think sometimes these things happen. God show a way that will be, punish you some kind of way so you can learn your lesson. Or else we're going to live with that dog until we die. Oh, you're made true good president. So here we are now. Now, nobody, absolutely nobody can deny or defend anything. We are seeing it with our own eye. So, guys,
so Dr. George, before you're close on the convention, and you and Madam Mayor, this is what the president told us. It's just a note over there.
Yeah, we want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money. I beg your the money should be used to bless our people. I mean, can you imagine?
All right.
Okay.
Validating crime under your own government. So
Okay.
And
When you're footballer, no matter how old you are, you still talk football.
you say be on the chest boy.
Yeah. So when you're guru, no matter how old you still talk about stealing. So that's
And that's the reason we are calling on all our supporters for the ANC, sympathizers of the ANC. If you live in Philadelphia, you want to come out on the night of the 26th, there will be a banquet. It's just $50 for you to come out and join us. You know, things are expensive now, but we have a $50 buffet. You can eat as much as you want. Just come up and join us. All ANC members, we ask you to pay your registration membership due. You know, every year we pay $120 for membership due and $50 to be at the convention. Your membership due will afford you the opportunity to vote, afford you the opportunity to speak on the floor of the convention, and afford you the opportunity to run for any of the elected positions. All smart and brilliant members out there, it is now time. We need your leadership ability. Every position is open, from the chairman all the way to my own position. So come in there and let us
the thing you're doing, you say when the man pay in the membership due, you can talk. So God goes to when he start talking when he says I pay my money.
Yeah, you can talk. you got a voice.
Like everybody in the ANC have a voice when you come to our convention. So that's why they had to call it a business meeting last so long. But this would not be. We're going to have an election. So we're inviting every one of you. Please go to the global chat room, call your chapter leaders, call your regional leaders. This week, we'll start taking we're sending out a Google Doc. This week, wherever you are, you can start paying your membership due of $120, $50 for the banquet. Come and let's have those wonderful ANC time. Let us have those wonderful dance we used to do. Those of you who are with us in.
How much are you? How much? I mean, I think we'll be doing fundraising right there. So how much are you?
Oh, at this moment, we are not targeting our fundraising, but normally at ANC convention, our target fundraiser is $50,000. That's our target.
Above $50,000.
There's a reason why I asked, because we know how many people want to raise. So again, $2,000. So let me the 1,000 because they tell me they want to raise. So, but once you're getting that target, they say, yeah, myself when they think,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, once we elevate to a level of convention, we try to raise the minimum of $50,000 at each convention.
Yes.
Whether it's the global convention, regional convention. But we look forward to starting by paying your membership due $120 and $50 for the banquet.
Food wise, what do they expect? And food and drinks.
We have hired one of the best caterers in the city of Brotherly Love. So you have all the Liberian dishes. Our sister coming all the way from Rhode Island, right, Sister Etta? She said she bring it.
Yeah, she coming away from yes.
Yeah. There's Bill Kenny coming all the way from Rhode Island. We cannot bring how they call it. What is it? Coconut candy.
Coconut candy, yeah.
We have all the Liberian traditional dishes will be there.
Right.
On Friday night, there's going to be the meet and greet. It's going to take place in a very beautiful place. We are hired. The ladies, our ANC ladies, have said they want to take care of us on Friday night, so they will be cooking traditional Liberian food. There will be some European food. So make sure you're there Friday night for the meet and greet. And then at the banquet, we have. Yeah, every other Liberian traditional food there will be. I know they talk.
Dry rice, fraffy and dry rice. Pepper soup, fraffy and dry rice. We have all that there.
Friday night, and me and Agree will have pepper soup there.
Paul, the way he's smiling, my man. You get your heart going on. But maybe Paul has something to say. But
if you want to book a hotel, make sure your hotel is around the airport, the Philadelphia International Airport. There where will be most of the activities is taking place. So come into town. You can come on Thursday. Thursday night, the women caucus leader, Madam Patricia Morgan, is going to be in town on Thursday, so she will be there to meet you. So just come over. A lot of people have gotten a ticket. Our Wanty have already gotten her ticket. She will be flying in. Some of us will be driving in. The folks from Rhode Island, they have a car that they will be how they call it, carpooling to come over to call your chapter leaders in Rhode Island to know how to carpool.
Yeah, that was one important question I wanted to ask, because you know, a lot of the time when we go when we used to go to party, we would drive all the long distance in the US, and then you know, when you get there, you already exhausted. So it's good to fly, and then when you get to the airport, maybe you either rent or somebody can pick you up. So whether you guys are making arrangement for transportation like that for people who will come for long distance.
Yeah, our members are in the city. For those who cannot afford, will be there to pick you up and drop you to the hotel. But try to get a rental car so that you can also help someone who is coming out. But yes, we have a regional. Rodney Wilson is there. Eric Coco is in. Jesse is also in town. So those are people who are what they call them landlords of Philadelphia. So they will be there. Don't call says Ethel because she will be resting. But if
they got shuttle buses. They got shuttle bus from the airport to the hotel.
The hotel also have a shuttle bus.
Shuttle bus, yeah.
Yeah, in the hotel that we have selected. But if you want an Airbnb, call us. The numbers are on the flyer. Call us. We have arrangement with some Airbnb, especially for females. We have an Airbnb that the women caucus is Patricia. They put it together. You can call her if you know women caucus number.
Okay,
that's good. I don't know if there's any other thing you guys want to add.
The only thing is that we expect 5% from Europe. So Paul is coming. So let me know if you have not gotten your ticket, go and get your ticket.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, you
I
put it
know
down the
somebody
spot.
from Sweden already bought
last
their
time
ticket, so
between 2002 to 2007, you know how many times I went to America?
We
23 times.
We're talking about the weekend on the 25th.
Yeah,
Exactly.
23 times I went to America just in 4 or 5 years time. But guess what? Since I stopped going, I have not gone there, and everybody's mad with me. So
Yeah.
You need to come.
So make this trip that we start talking.
Come on, Lenford. Come on. You need to come.
I would really love to make it, but you know, I will come. I will come.
You got bottle. We don't want no bottle, Lenford.
So if you are listening to all in Europe, Lord Cholope also already have a ticket. So 4 of you need to join Lord Cholope and come for.
Yeah, we set a very powerful
it
delegation.
will be a great weekend. It will be a great weekend.
Will come from Norway. Is she listening to me?
Yeah, maybe I'll send Dolly. Well, I think it was good. We're looking forward to a wonderful program, and you know, like Paul was trying to say, from how Liberian people think about the ANC, and you know, you got to live up to the expectation of the people, because the people say, "Oh yeah, that the richest party." So you know, those of you going to that party is just a word of encouragement, right? For those of you going to that program, go prepare, lift the party up. You know, somebody said, if you fall down, don't look at where you fell, but look at what caused you to fall. And then you can, next time when you reach there, you can take precaution. So we know what happened during the elections, but there is always a second chance, third chance. So you are starting all over again. And then you got to know what to do. So, you know, for those of you going to the program, it's just my own advice. When you go, do the best you can. Do not be discouraged, and let the program be the best it can. And trust me, what we'll do there, we set a pace for all other groups like Europe and the Liberian, you know, group too. So you guys, I hope you're going to have a good event, convention, and I understand people are already buying tickets, so it's going to be great. Paul is set, and the rest of it. So, Paul, you got anything to any final word for our guests?
I'm looking forward to seeing all of them in Philadelphia. it was great. We were all in Liberia trying to make the case, and then it'll be good again to see. So this
Okay.
is kind of we will bring in new people that will champion the cause and then move the institution to a different level. At least now we have experienced the footballer and then the most experienced persons now. So this is our time. I will look up to somebody who will come with different mindset of business pricing that can change Liberia. Somebody who already riding Ferrari, they don't need to buy $1 million cars. So we'll sell the message. It's about time that Liberian land. So we'll preach the message when the time comes. So after the convention, the ANC will be on fire.
Right.
So we look forward to people going to the convention and watch out for ANC.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
actually, you will do the closing now. Because you see, women are very special because when women talk, imagine the war with high Liberian or women who actually intervene after ECOMO and all the other people intervene, but it were women. So you are the chairlady and you guys are hosting this event. Do you have any final word for the male counterparts and your fellow females that will really, really encourage them to come?
Yeah, we are appealing to everyone because I'm not going to speak to the ladies differently from the men. All Liberians from all walk of life. I mean, we have been through. Mama Liberia have been through a lot, and we are the alternative. So we are appealing to all our sympathizers, all our members, our sympathizers, and all Liberians. There's nothing but trouble, no division, nothing. We would like you to come. And let's put our hands together and make Mama Liberia with no competition. Because I mean, I cry sometimes when I go home and I would like to make a difference. I would like us to make a difference. That's why, even though I'm not well, but I've been working with the committee and we are doing everything possible to make this convention the best convention ever. So we're again appealing to you all. Come down to Philadelphia and let's rock the boat.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Bottom Line Liberia, we want to say thank you for coming. And we wish you a very, very prosperous convention, that all of the members will turn out and the event will be a great one. And Paul will be there if Paul is lucky. While our program is going on and we are hosting here, maybe Paul could just do some live or Paul carry a computer. So maybe we get flashes and let's see how it's gonna be.
We're expecting you to, Lanfa.
Yeah, I really can't make it because I didn't plan my holiday to that. My holiday is way in July. And
okay.
Yeah. So
okay. We miss you. And we know you miss a lot.
No, other programs I will come.
This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, and online radio.
Sorry. I need to go to America because it's been so long since I left from there, and I don't know how to do it. Everybody's saying come. I don't know, but I'll come. And when I come, I'll make sure I'll touch key areas. And one of the key areas will be the seat of the diaspora. The diaspora. Thanks for coming, and we hope that this will not be the last time. In fact, this is the last one that we're looking at. Right after that convention, you guys are coming here to tell us whether you failed or whether you succeeded. Failed, whether you didn't get what you expected, and success meaning that yes, just exactly what we planned for, and even more we got. So we hope that you guys will have a good convention, And on behalf of the Bottom Line Liberia, the other colleagues that are not here, we wish you all well.
So the next time you guys appear will be on air in Liberia, just to let you know. So that's
Okay.
We are pushing, and we have a contract already on the radio station there. So
Oh, great.
we'll be forceful this time around. So we'll play the card right. And Dr. George, the Bottom Line is doing a documentary on Excellency President Joseph Numa Barker. Some serious documentary that we're doing on him, because there's something we pick up from his autobiography that is posted on the Executive Mansion website. It doesn't add up, so we're doing a documentary on him. And
Okay.
that time come, we invite you, and we'll be on air in Liberia to break it down to people. The question is, who is Joseph Numa Barker? That's the documentary.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a hard question. The answers are kind of scanty.
So, guys, like I said, the time is fast spent, and we let it till leave of you guys. We've kept you guys here for a very long time, and it's time to say goodbye. It was good having you guys, and hope you guys will come by right after the program, and then we can also discuss the success and hurdles and whatever you went through, and that would be the climax of all of the discussions. So I want to say, on behalf of the Bottom Line Liberia, thanks for being with us. We hope to see you very, very soon.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Yeah, but I think the program was a nice one, and we hope that the event will be great.
Yeah.
And you will be there, so you're going to be the one to tell us what really happened the next time we host the folks here, and you're going to be telling us a story. But is there anything political that you want us to talk about here before we take leave?
Well, the thing before we go, something just interests me. I just want to give a little start on this. I put this up there, and we can talk about that on Tuesday when we meet. It's something that I came across today. It's regarding Africa. The reason why all the big players around the world are focusing on Africa. Just take a, we'll play this, and then we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Listen to this.
Of 54 sovereign states, 17% of the world's population, 9.6% of the global oil output, 90% of the world's platinum supply, 90% of the world's cobalt supply, half of the world's gold supply, 2/3 of the world's manganese, 35% of the world's uranium, 75% of the world's coltan, and 54 votes in the United Nations General Assembly. This is what makes Africa so attractive and makes the continent a battleground for global powers. There are numerous fronts: investment and infrastructure, military power, diplomacy, soft power, trade, geopolitics. Every country has its own interest in Africa. In 2016, Israel began its scramble for the continent. Benjamin Netanyahu became the first Israeli prime minister to visit Africa in 50 years. What did he want? Votes in favor of Israel and against Palestine in the United Nations resolutions. Africa and Israel share similar histories, he said. Israel went on to sponsor solar, water and agricultural technologies. In the same year, 2016, Senegal co-sponsored a UN resolution. It condemned the construction of illegal Jewish settlements in the West Bank. What did Israel do? It cancelled the Mashav drip irrigation project. And this is just one example. Here's another one. The European Union has pledged more than $54 billion in sustainable investment for Africa. What does the EU want? Access to the African market of 1.3 billion people. Brussels has negotiated free trade agreements with at least 40 African countries. But does this ensure a balanced two-way trade? It doesn't. And no country has a bigger interest in Africa than China. China is funding 1 in 5 infrastructure projects in Africa. It is building every third one. Africa has an infrastructure deficit and China has a signed checkbook. Starting 2005, China has invested at least $2 trillion in Africa. It built 6,200 kilometers of railways, including the continent's longest railway line connecting Ethiopia and Djibouti. Beijing has also built the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, a continent of 50.
So,
I think this video is very interesting, Paul.
Yeah. So we dissect that on Tuesday. That's Africa. Why is it that all of the tariffs that they're putting on us, we should be putting tariff on these people? I'm being honest. They want things from us. We don't want anything from them. But instead, we run behind there or petty things that we're supposed to benefit from.
Yes.
Look.
It's like, Paul, we are friends. In your house, you get plenty food. I ain't got food. But I get idea, I'm a come. I know how to convince you to get your food. So I can say, wow, Paul, today, my man, yeah, look at your, my man, open the fridge, man. Deep freeze the chicken, not fry the chicken good. Then we fry it. That's about Paul, my man. I carry some chicken, you know, I get nothing home. I carry some chicken. Your own chicken, maybe we'll fry 10 pieces. I say, but I carry 8. So I leave 2 of you. Because look in your rest. You get plenty. So let me carry 8 that will not fry. Let me carry, you know. So it's the West, they know exactly what they want. And so because of that, look at, in fact, you say Tizo will talk about this, but you know, we get laying the groundwork. They created something called World Bank, IMF, and all those things. So that's where they tie our hands. Okay, they come to you, they say, "Oh, we want this thing here, but we'll give you some money." And our leaders, they not think they're not far-sighted. They will run for the money, the physical cash. They're not looking at the value of what they got. Okay, so this is where Africa have gone into debt. And I sent you another video already. I hope you can take a look at it. It's very related to this thing.
Okay.
So Tuesday we're going to be here with that video, and we'll dissect it. We'll look at the various components that the lady just mentioned, and we'll be able to discuss it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you are late, Pataki. You are late. You say. Try to be early next time, boy. But no, guys, for those of you who are on the show with us, or with very new people today, Wanty Clark was here, and our Marketplace. I say important get name. So a lot of people are here with us today, but I've not seen some of their names before, like Jefferson Carter, maybe he's here before. But whatever the case, we want to say thank you for being with us. And if you just come in Lile Pataki, we were talking to the ANC folks, and we're going to have this big occasion, just promoting it. So I know somebody will ask, oh, the ANC platform here now. But you know, we are Liberians, right? So Paul, take us home.
Well, it's Friday, my brother. It's Friday. You sure they want to say happy weekend to our loyal followers and to those who joined us for the first time. I want to say happy weekend. And it is what it is. Let me see if I can bring something from our beloved country. What's this? So this is the one I let to play is this young Liberian guy called King Dennis, who made a beautiful music, say, Eat Your Show, which is nice for this Friday. If you're sitting watching us by YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, take a glass of water, wine, orange juice, anything, bottle of beer, and enjoy this music until we meet again on Tuesday. I want to say have a fantastic weekend.
We now in competition while you getting there. Simple love will live in see and getting there.
tired helping people, let me help myself. And now I wake up one money and see myself in grain. And people be enjoying all the money that I made. So I don't for myself first. And I know about you, I for myself first. Life is too short, so let me enjoy myself. Nature looking hard, let me come for myself. The way we enjoying, I know you're getting there. Even you there, and everything is there. So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. I want time to go, I tell you in my show.
So I'm money that kid, I need and pray. That thing on my mind, I'm killing me. Fragile the I make all the play. I invest on the skill of this calling. Give my share, give my chance, give my scooby. Give me sabu and I want kubi. I'm lucky and all that to be a rabbit. You're my mind, that's kubi. I don't there's no movement in level. Use everything for his government. But I know say the level and